Hey guys, this is going to be a case of the old and the new. The first in-box review is going to be the Ed Force One 747, and the second one will be, well, equally its successor, which is the Airbus A350-1000. This one's actually made by Zvezda. So what we'll do, we're going to go for the Jumbo first, as she is the most iconic aircraft ever to grace our skies. And for years and years and years, boys used to look up, see those vapor trails, and hang on, let's just move the camera in a bit. And we'd always see a jumbo, but sadly, the jumbo is becoming a rarer bird now because obviously with the pandemic, a lot of the airlines have sold them off or retired them due to cost grounds, because they're too expensive to run now, and a lot of the airlines have gone over to the twin jet sort of scenario with more powerful engines which are far more economical. I mean, the Jumbo itself has had a good 50-year service record. I think it was about a year ago it was celebrating its 50th anniversary of its first flight. And sorry, I'm just going to go into flight mode here. That's it, so we don't get disturbed anymore with any notifications. So yeah, sorry, I got distracted then. Iconic aircraft. She's known as the Queen of the Skies, just as graceful on the ground as in the air. Thousands of people have flown on her. Regretfully, I never got the experience of flying on the Jumbo, although I'd like to have done. Just as I would have liked to have done with Concorde, and the Jumbo really sort of first made its mark back in around about sort of 1970, when the first two flew into, well, the first one flew into Heathrow around about January 1970 with Pan Am, and obviously the 100s flew on for many years until the 200 came in. And then obviously essentially around about the sort of mid 80s, the 300 was announced at the Farnborough Air Show with a longer upper deck and obviously more powerful engines, slightly longer fuselage, and that wasn't so successful. But then the 400 came about with better, more powerful engines, and all the airlines started buying them up, and more specifically British Airways, they started replacing their 200s with the 400s in around about the late 80s, early 90s. They've sold it on for a good 20 plus years, and they were due to be retired about 3 years from now, but obviously with the pandemic coming in, it brought their retirement 4 years early. So the last one flew out of Heathrow around about January this year, or the last two did. A lot of them thankfully have been preserved, including the retro scheme ones. And I was lucky to get this one because obviously with the retirement everybody was buying up 747s like you wouldn't believe. And unfortunately Revell decided to discontinue this kit, and they haven't really reissued another 400 series, although they have brought out the Dash 800 series in the cargo conversion as well as the passenger version, which I'll probably get hold of in due course. But this one did cost me a tidy penny when I bought it, to be honest with you, because obviously Revell have stopped producing them, and getting hold of the 400 series 747 is just, well, you're going to be lucky if you can get a nice cheap price for one now. Yeah, this wasn't cheap, this one, when I actually managed to buy it, so I just thought, well, I've got to get one, but as they were being snapped up, so obviously with the retirement of the Jumbo, although we've still got the Jumbo flying on in the 800 series, it wasn't as commercially successful, and the last one I think has seemed to be rolled off the production line. And that'll be it. No more Jumbos, guys. That's the end of an era, but this specific one was actually brought by Bruce Dickinson from Air France, because they brought this particular aircraft into service in 2003, and then it went into storage in 2015. It was hired by Atlantic, I think, which was a Icelandic cargo line or airline for a while, and then they put it into storage. And Bruce actually, because they were doing a world tour, needed a bigger aircraft, so hence they hired out this one and painted it in the group markings for their world tour that year in 2016, which was known as Air Force One. And of course, obviously, Bruce being a qualified 747 pilot, he did actually fly this aircraft and some of the legs to the tour. As far as I know, she's still flying, but she's now under Saudi Arabian Airlines. I think she's a cargo aircraft now, converted cargo aircraft now, as a lot of the 400s that have been retired or sent back over are now being converted into cargo aircraft. So there you go, they're soldering on in that capacity. Anyway, as I say, these are not cheap. If you get one on eBay, you'll be paying a tidy price, but the kit number on this is 04950. 144. It's got 85 parts, 49 centimeters long by 44 centimeters wide, and obviously very resplendent in this Iron Maiden Ed Force One scheme. So this was the Book of Souls World Tour in 2016, and I know my brother's a bit of a Iron Maiden fan. So bro, if you want to get one of these, you will be paying for a tidy penny for one of these, mate, I'll tell you. Although, as far as I know, 26 Decals do actually do an aftermarket colour scheme of this, but as I say, if you can get hold of a 144 747-400, you're going to be paying a tidy penny now, because they are going on eBay for ridiculous prices. But I'm going to be using this one not for Air Force One scheme. It's going to be a BA bird. I mean, I know this one was powered by Pratt & Whitney's, and the BA ones were RB211 engines, but there's not a lot of difference in the shape of the engines, so who's going to know? But we'll go on with the inbox reviews. There's a lovely photograph of one, which was, I think this one was taken somewhere in Riyadh or somewhere on the States, I don't know. But anyway, obviously on the side of the box here, you got it was licensed by Iron Maiden LLP, under license for the Global Merchandising Services Limited, under license from Boeing as well, so they sponsored this kit. And obviously it's Revell, Germany, so there you go. On the side of the box, you got the box art illustration again, and on back here you got a little bit of information about Air Force One, and obviously a picture of the kit once it's made up. So there you go, and obviously some of the products that Revell do as well on the bottom, and then obviously the Revell colour call outs there as well, but again you can convert them on the colour Hobby Color app, which you can download on Android, or as it were. So there you go. Again, this is quite a big box, because obviously it's a big subject. Side opening box for Revell as per usual, and obviously you get one sprue bag of sprues, as you can see here. Okay. And then we'll get the instruction sheet out. Sorry, I'm just going to put the sprues down on the side here. There we go. And let's pull them out. There we go. Right. And as you can see, you've got an illustration of the completed kit on the front here. Okay. A little bit of info on the bottom here. Nice clear shiny pamphlet style, and this is part of their new instructions, little tips on the modelling as you go along, and then obviously at the front, at the top here, you've got a few symbols and what you're doing as you're going through the production of this. So there you go, and then obviously on the next page you've got your colour call outs, as you can see here. And I do hate this. They have to mix 19% of this and 5% of that. I can't be arsed with it. I'd rather use another colour product, to be honest with you. And then obviously you've got your sprue tree with all the kit parts, as you can see there. Okay. And first off, what you've got to do is drill out a few holes in the fuselage. For some reason, I think it's where the passenger windows are. You might not have to do this if you're going to do this as another colour scheme, I don't know. And then obviously you've got the assembly of the nose wheel, which you can see there. Nose wheel compartment goes into the right hand side of the fuselage, and obviously making sure that you've weighted it with 26 kilograms of nose weight or fishing weight or whatever it is you use. You put the fuselage halves together, and then the next process is the assembly of the main wings, which you can see here. And obviously you've got the landing light sensors there as well. Then the tailplane assembly, you put them onto the fuselage, and obviously then the winglets go at the end. And then it's the assembly of the General Electric engines, as you can see there, with the colour call-outs placed as well. Okay. And again, you're putting in the main inlet rotors, blades, as you can see there, the main part of the engine, and then the exhaust nozzle on all four engines. Engines go onto the wings, as it were, and then obviously you've got the assembly of the main undercarriage bay, which you can see right there. Next process is more of the landing gear in the main main undercarriage bay, and the wheels go on, etc. And then the fitment of the elevators to the wings, as it were, and making sure you got the alignment right up on the undercarriage, although you can have it on an up position if you wish. And then obviously you've got the outer legs which go into the wing as well, because it's got quite a lengthy undercarriage. Would have to if it's carrying that weight. I'll tell you, hang on, let's just get it into the pictures you can see there. Okay. Right, and then obviously the other side as well. So you've got some in the wings and one in the central undercarriage bay as well. And then obviously you've got the assembly of the outer legs, and also where all the gear bay doors go, as you can see there. And the nose wheel bay doors as well, and then the fitment of the main cockpit to the recognisable hump of the jumbo. I'm not quite sure what that is. It might be the central navigation light, I should assume. And then obviously you got some paint colour guides here for the rear tail, an APU unit, and again you could have it in flight mode if you wish. And that is basically the assembly of your jumbo. And then obviously you've got the one colour call out, which is Ed Force 1, with all the decal placement, etc. Does look quite a distinctive colour scheme, especially with the tail art as well. So yeah, and then obviously you've got an overall above view and below view of the colour call out for the wing and main fuselage and engines, which you can see there. So yes. That's that really, and then obviously you've got your main screws. Let's just get them out. So cut that. Here we go. Don't know if you guys can see that. Actually, I'll put the light on, because I didn't think to do that. Oh well, I've got it now. As you can see, there's some nice panel line detail in the actual fuselage. And as I say, in some places you may have to drill out some extra holes on the windows for this particular kit. But there again, I think this is just a standard sort of thing, as it were. There is a little bit of flash in that one, which you'll probably just get out the scalpel, so that's not a problem. But again, there's some nice detail, particularly, oh god, I can't even get it in, it's too big. Especially on the tail there. So some nice panel line detail there. So it's nice, crisp and clear. Quite a size, as you can see. So yeah, it's quite a big aircraft, as we all know. So that's one fuselage side there. going to get you the tail planes out. He says. So there you go. Again, there's some nice panel line detail on there, guys. Beautifully crisp and clear. There's not an ounce of flash on this, which I'm very pleased about. The only thing I would say, because it's in white plastic, it's going to be a little bit luminescent, so I would suggest airbrushing the interior black just to give it a bit more solidity, really. But there again, as I say, it's going to look really nice once it's done up. There is a little bit of flash on the end there, but it's nothing you can't get rid of with the scalpel and a bit of a sanding. So yeah. Right, next part is the actual engines themselves. Let's move this lamp out of the way because I was going to use it, but I'm not now. And again, there's some nice panel line detail on these General Electric engines. So yeah, very nicely done. And obviously you've got the main engine blades, which you can see there. Although with this one I've got an actual detail set, and there's part of the exhaust which you can see here, and part of the exhaust system again. But again, there's a nice panel line detail on that, which will come nice out with the wash. Undercarriage units, which you can see there for the nose wheel and the central column. There's all your tyres and more detail there. So yes, very nicely caught. And obviously undercarriage bays. I must admit, I like the detail under the central column here. This is if you don't have it in flight, although there's the inlet drain valves, which you can see there, right there. Again, there's some nice panel line detail on that. Little bit of flash on the winglets here, unfortunately, which go on the wing tips, so that'll have to be a little job with a sander. There's not much detail on the undercarriage bay, I have to say. So it might be worth putting a little bit of fuse wire or something in it just to add a little detail. But as I say, I've got an aftermarket set which will probably boost that up a bit. So yes, not bad at all. And obviously you've got the wings. This is the lower part of the wing. Again, there's some nice panel line detail on there. There's a little bit of detail in the undercarriage bay there with some pipe work, so that's quite nice. Again, they're a little bit flashy, but nothing that a sander can't fix. And then there's the obviously the upper wing panel, which is nicely detailed as well with those panel lines. So yes. Not bad at all. I mean, compared to the Airfix kit, it's a little bit... I'd say it's a bit better than the old Airfix kits, because obviously they're dated now. I mean, this kit came out in around about 2016 anyway, I think, the year that Ed Force 1 was, it 2017? Because I remember seeing them on the display cabinet they had for Revell at Telford. So yeah, I think it came out 2017 actually, this kit. So yes, now where's the clear parts? I did have some clear parts here. Oh, here we go. And then obviously this is your main canopy. I mean, you're not going to see a lot in the cockpit anyway, so it don't really matter if it's clear or not. And then you've got your landing lights here, all in one clear plastic. So that's quite nice. And then you've got your nav lights under there. Probably you just have to colour them up, I would suggest. But rather nice indeed. So there you go. And then finally, you've got your decal sheet as well. And yeah, they look quite nice decals to put down actually. So I should imagine they bed down fairly nicely. And then obviously you got all your, all these are going to be filling, putting on these on your windows. Few bits of stencils here, and then all these markings here. I might keep this as an extra spare decal sheet, because if I get another one of these I could do it in Ed Force 1. So yeah, but as I say, I'm not going to build it as Ed Force 1. This one is going to, its tail art is quite outstanding as well. So yes, and obviously you've got all the crew and the band members and all the people who backed them up named here as well for the tour. And these went on the main engines, so yes, look quite colourful, I should imagine. But this is not the version I'm going to build it in, actually, as I want to get around to building it, because I've actually got an aftermarket decal sheet from V1 Decals. And if I get it out of the packet here, this is the version I'm going to build it as. The BA Trafalgar scheme in V1, supplied by V1 Decals, and you can actually look these up on eBay, and there's your kit markings as well. So yes, that's the scheme I'm actually going to build it in. You've actually got 3 sheets here, so there you go. That's the actual one. It's going to be in is it George Echo, GBYGE. Now I don't know if this aircraft is still in existence or it's been scrapped, because I know a lot of them, they flew off to be scrapped, and there's a few still sitting forlorn without their engines down at Kemble Aerodrome, sadly. But I'm glad to say they're going to be preserving a few of them. The 3 retro aircraft, which were used for celebrating the 100th anniversary of BA, are being preserved. The Boeing 1 is being preserved, the Landor scheme, the Negus scheme, so you know, that's good, I think. And there's a Trafalgar scheme. In fact, there's 2 747s going to be preserved down at Dunsfold, which is where they filmed Top Gear. So that's good news. I'm glad they got saved, but unfortunately the rest of the fleet is now being scrapped, used for a source of spares for the remaining aircraft that are flying. Sad times, but you know, it comes to us all at the best end of the day. Also with this, I've got another metallic detail set, which we got here. To add to the detail, you got your fan blades and extra, etc. You got the interior parts for the actual undercarriage bays and for the wheels, etc, etc. So it's quite comprehensive, and obviously you've got the instruction sheet in there. Again, you can look these up on eBay, metallic details. They do quite a number of etched brass sets for aircraft models, not specifically in 144th, they do them in 148th and 172nd as well. So yeah, check them out. It just pops the detail on the kit, makes it look far much better, and I must admit, a few of the Anana kits that I've got, I'm going to be ordering a few of these sets in, just to boost them up for when I actually do get around to building again. So yeah, there you go. So that is the review of Revell's 144th Boeing 747-400 Ed Force 1, and I hope you enjoyed it. It is a lovely, if you can get hold of one, it's a lovely kit of a 747. Oops, it's just fallen over. Let me get this to stand up again. And if you can afford it, get hold of one, because they are getting rarer and rarer. I don't know if Revell will ever issue a 400 again. I doubt it, because at the moment, obviously you've still got the Dash 8, which is still in production and still flying. So yeah, if you can source one on eBay at a good price and not too expensive, although I did pay through the nose to get this one, because they're going quick, guys. They really are. They're getting rarer and rarer. If you can get hold of one and can afford it, or just push the boat out, get one, because obviously they're going quick. And there's plenty of aftermarket decals out there for this bird, I can tell you. You know, I know they're flying on in cargo form, but it's just sad that we're not going to see them flying out regularly at Heathrow anymore. But there you go. Such is progress. Such are the times. Anyway, that's the end of this kit review. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below, and if you want to subscribe, by all means, please do so, and I'll be very, very grateful if you do. So until the next time, stay safe, keep well, wear a mask, wash your hands, 2-meter distancing, and we'll get through this. We certainly will. It's looking promising. Still, we'll see what Boris has to come up with on Monday when he does his press conference, so we'll see. Anyway, as I say, take care, model on, happy modelling, and I will speak to you soon in the next inbox review, which will be the A350's Vesda A350-1000, which is its successor, and that's a big lump as well, I'll tell you. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle on. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Cheers.